Okay, how's it going, everybody? Um, I wanted to sit down today and kind of go over um, some of my personal picks for drawing mountain goat tags in the Western United States. Um, and like, I don't claim to know everything there is about all the draw systems or how to unlock a lot of these draw systems. I'm just a blue collar guy that has put in a lot of research and a lot of boots on the ground on some areas, and um, hopefully, if I give this information to other people, it'll help them in acquiring a goat tag and having a once in a lifetime hunt. So. I'm going to be recording here on the camera and then also on my computer. So I'm going to start that right now. Hopefully that'll work out. Let's see. New screen recording. And record. Okay, it looks like we're recording. So, first off, I want to go over Utah because Utah is my home state. I know all of the mountain goat areas. I have looked at mountain goats in almost every single unit there is in Utah. So I'll kind of go through that. And I think what's going to happen is I'm going to do each state. I'm going to do mountain goats and mountain goat tags and bighorn sheep tags, just because they're so similar in most states, and the draw process for them is similar. And there's a lot of areas that I know as far as bighorn sheep as well. So hang tight with me. Hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully you get some knowledge from this. And here we go. So let's start off right here. Right up top, Ogden Willard Peak. I'm from Ogden, and this is kind of my hometown area, Ogden Willard Peak. There are a lot of goats there, apparently. I have a friend whose uncle had the tag last year, and he hunted every day of the season. I guess he never saw a single goat. But I think sometimes people just don't know how to hunt mountain goats and how extremely difficult it can be at some points, sorry. So you've really got to know how to find mountain goats and how to hunt them. Do your research, know where they're at certain times of the year, and stuff like that. So Ogden Willard Peak, I'm not going to give everything away here on my YouTube. That would be mean of me and very dishonest of me to take away from Go Hunt's business that they've created. Get yourself a Go Hunt membership, an insider membership. I think it's $150 a year. It sounds like a lot, but it is totally worth it. It's changed the way that me and my family have applied for hunts. They now have this new thing called Maps. It's revolutionary. And when I say that, there's other, I don't want to call out other businesses, but there's other map applications, I guess, map apps you can have on your phone. But it's next level. And right now it's just in beta, and they just have it on desktop, but they are going to come out with an app that you can have on your phone. I'm pretty sure it's going to come out before next season. They were supposed to release it before this season, but they're going to do it next season. But yeah, so, I'm not paid by Go Hunt to say this or anything, but it really is life-changing, having a Go Hunt subscription and insider subscription. And so with that, like I was saying, get yourself a membership and you can look at all the draw odds. I can tell you, and you can look at, these state fish and game locations or websites, and they'll tell you the draw odds and kind of give you an idea. but there's not a single place where you can find all of the states and all of their draw odds right in one place. Information about it. It's really organized, and it's incredible. So kudos to Go Hunt. But yeah, I'm not going to give away any of the draw odds. But that is a fairly, in terms of non-resident hunters, fairly difficult one to draw, if I remember. One of the things I like to do over here to know if I'm a non-resident, I'm a resident in Utah, but if I was a non-resident, I can come over here and select non-resident, and it'll show me what hunts I can or can't draw. And so I'm pretty sure there's tags for mountain goats in all of these units for non-residents. Kudos to Utah Fish and Game. Okay, now let's go over to these 5 Uinta units. So the Uintas are I want to say 150-mile long range, right here on the edge of Utah, right below the Wyoming border. Access is really good. There's lots of trails, but it is a hike if you're getting into mountain goat country. And most of these units, you better bring your hiking boots. You're backpacking for sure. I have a buddy whose dad drew the I think it was the West Uintas. They're the Lady Peak tag, and they packed in with horses, and they were in there for 7 days. Saw 2 goats. They took a shot at saw 2 billies. I apologize. They took a shot at the first billy at like 1,000 yards, missed it. The second billy they saw was 5-inch horns, and they took it because it was like the 7th day of the hunt. So you've got to be prepared to hunt hard, and you've got to be prepared to be there for a long time. You're gonna have to search and be in really good shape in all of these units, all 5 of these, from the Chalk Creek Camas all the way over to the Lady Peak. These mountain goats are at the very top, 13,000 feet, and it's a rough hunt, rocky. So you gotta have the right gear. You gotta be in the right shape. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the Wasatch Mountains units. So the Lone Peak, Box Elder Peak, Timpanogos, and Provo Peak. These are all outside of Salt Lake City and Provo. They also have fairly good access to them. It's some pretty rough stuff, I won't lie. But there's a potential for really, really great hunts and really rewarding. And I think some of these units have some of the better draw odds in the state for getting a tag. But I mean, once again, you got to be in great shape. That's going to be my mantra from now on. You have to be in good shape to hunt goats. You can have horses to get you into the country, but these horses aren't going up these shale cliffs or these shale ridges that these goats are living on. So you need to be in good shape, especially if you're planning on hunting one of these units. But a solid option nonetheless for having a great hunt for mountain goats. Okay, next one is the Central Mountains Nebo. It's no surprise to anyone. So this is the unit that I drew in 2018. I scouted it hard. It was an incredible hunt, I'll tell you that. I scouted it hard. I trained really hard, and it was a really rewarding hunt. And this next tidbit of information I'm going to give you is how I drew this tag. So every year, at least in Utah, they will give a publication of what are the new hunts for the upcoming year. And sometimes, people get in a rut of applying for the same unit every year. In Utah, it's if you're applying for elk, oh yeah, I'm going to put in for Pavant again, or I'm going to put in for the San Juan again. And so, every year they just like, okay, first choice San Juan, second choice Pavant, third choice, Monroe, whatever. And they kind of glaze over these new hunts. And so there's a very small amount of people that apply for these new hunts, and then there's just a greater chance for you to draw it. And so I had 5 mountain goat points in Utah. And I drew, so let me back up. Central Mountains Nebo, they transplanted goats there in 2007. First hunt was 2012, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But they've had a rifle hunt ever since. And then they started doing 2 rifle hunts, giving out a few tags on each hunt. And in 2018 was the first year they gave out, I want to say, 8 archery tags. I was lucky enough with 5 points to draw it. And it was an incredible hunt. So my plug here is, if you're a really hardcore hunter, put in for archery hunts if you want to shoot something with your bow, or if you think you can. Your odds of drawing are 10 times better, because a lot of people put in for rifle hunts over archery. That's not to say you're gonna draw the next year, but it is a good option. So let's keep going down south, and then we'll head over to LaSalle. So Beaver. Beaver has become one of my favorite areas in Utah. There's a lot of mountain goats. They can be hard to find. I haven't been on an actual goat hunt on Beaver, but I know that there's a lot of goats from the time I've spent in the unit. They stay right up at the very top of the mountain, like most mountain ranges, or mountain goat herds, I guess I should say. And it's some incredible country. I believe there are 2 hunts. One is closer to the rut for mountain goats. Access can be a little tricky with that hunt. So I will say, I don't know how to say this diplomatically, but if you draw this tag, or if you put in for it, also put in for an archery deer tag, so that you can scout mountain goats while you're archery deer hunting, or a muzzleloader or rifle tag that coincides with your mountain goat hunt. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give away anything else, but yes, Beaver is a very good location to also have a deer tag in your pocket. Okay, Mountain Dutton. I'm not an expert on Mountain Dutton, but I do know there's a solid herd of mountain goats there. At the very top, I believe it's the west side of the mountain is burned, and that's where a lot of the goats hang out, right at the top of the burn, where there's a lot of rocky stuff and it's really open. It's a lot of good feed. Also, probably has a lot better draw odds than some of the other popular mountain goat units in Utah. And that brings us to LaSalle Mountains. So, I have never had boots on the ground in LaSalle Mountains. I've seen a lot of pictures of mountain goats coming off of this unit. It is, a very rugged unit, to say the least. But I do know there's a solid population of goats there. Once again, not a popular unit that people apply for a lot, so it might be in your best interest um, to apply for it. So, um, yeah, that's it for Utah mountain goats. The one plug I will put in is there's two archery hunts in the state, Central Mountains Nebo, and I believe one of the Uinta units. I'm thinking it's High Uintas West, but I'm not. I can't be positive. Um, but those have better draw odds than any of the other um, units in the state. So you have to determine what your priorities are, and determine what you feel comfortable with. If you draw that tag, can you make it up? Can you make it? Have 6 days off to be able to hunt. Do you have the right gear? Are you financially stable enough to be able to buy the gear that you need? Are you financially stable enough to put gas in your rig, as Brian Barney likes to say, to be able to get to the unit, to scout a few times, and to get to hunting? Can you buy food? Can you pay for one of the things I kind of didn't think about when I had my mountain goat hunt was taxidermy. Am I going to have enough money to pay for a mount? It's a once in a lifetime hunt. You want to remember it. You should plan ahead. Are you going to have enough money to be able to process the meat, or are you going to be able to process it yourself? So just some things to think about when you're applying for mountain goats. So yeah, that's it for that. DM me, comment on this video if you have any questions, and I will get back to you.